Welcome back. I'm April May Walston, and today I'm going to show you how I painted this adorable rock. So stay tuned. So to start off, I'm going to paint the background first, and I'm just going to draw some stripes, and I want them to be kind of wavy. And I'm sorry, my parrot is in the background. And of course she's probably going to make noise through this whole thing, so hopefully it's not too distracting. I get very used to all the noise she makes, but other people find her rather distracting, so I do apologize for that. But I wanted to do a voiceover on this recording so that I can explain, the steps that I took to complete this rock. So I drew out my stripes, and again, this is easy because we're making the background wavy stripes, so they don't have to be straight. They can be imperfect, and that's perfect. So I'm going to start by using just a blue, any blue you have. I think I'm using kind of a baby blue, kind of a sky blue, but whatever you have, it will be great. You don't even have to paint it blue. You can paint this whatever color you wanted to. It's completely up to you. So I feel like the background on this took me a little longer than the actual painting itself, because this required a couple of layers of each color to cover the background. Because I'm using Liquitex Basics, which is a student grade paint, they are a little bit more translucent. So it's just going to require a couple of layers, which is cool. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up because I do spend quite a bit of time in this portion of the video. And I don't want to bore you to tears with this background. So now that we've got that all painted, now I'm going to take black, which is my Acrylic liquid black, which is Airbrush Paint. And I'm just going to separate them with this line. And if you have a shaky hand like I do, this is perfect. Just be as shaky as you need to be. Now I do have links to all of the supplies I'm using down in the description box. There are affiliate links to Amazon, but these are all products that I stand behind 100% and have been using for years. So now I'm sketching out my design, and you can't see that very well against this background. And I'm using kind of a light pink, I'm going to block in his head. I'm just going to go ahead and block in the whole thing, because in this case, it's such a simple design. We don't need to break it down into smaller parts. If you are painting something that's a little bit more intricate, or you're intimidated by a subject matter that you want to paint, the easiest way to tackle that is to break it down into small sections and just paint those small sections and paint what you see, not what you think it's supposed to be. So in other words, you would look at it like abstract shapes. And we can all draw and paint shapes. It's when you try to paint a pig that it becomes more difficult. But when you break it down to just a section of the ear and break that down into abstract shapes, it makes it a lot less intimidating and a lot easier to tackle. But in this case, this is a pretty simple little painting. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint the whole thing. If you go back and look at the video it's called Let's Go Fishing, of the bass jumping out of the water, that's one where I broke it down into sections, and that makes it just a lot easier to paint such a complex design. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown to the pink. Oh no, I'm going to paint in his little paws first, I guess, his little hooves. But for the shading, I'm going to add a little bit of the burnt umber to my pink, and that's going to be my shadow color. Not real sure where I disappeared to there for a second, but so I'm painting the little flowers that go on her head. I'm still not in my studio. I'm in a temporary location, so my paints are not right near my table. I think that's why I keep kind of disappearing there for a couple seconds, because I have to go get paints. So you can see I made a glaze, and that's where I'm kind of glazing over the whole rock, but adding more layers in the areas where there should be a shadow or some shading. And remember, to do a glaze, I just thin it down with a little bit of water until it's like an ink consistency, and then I dry my paintbrush off, and then I load it with some paint, and then I just kind of scrumble it, which is like scrubbing it onto the rock or canvas, whether it be rock or a canvas or whatever. I would use the same technique. Now I'm taking my Liquitex black and doing the outline and just trapping the whole design like I do on a lot of my rocks. So as I put the finishing touches on this rock, I just want to take a minute to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.